Jewish people in the land of Israel today aren't the real JEWs. They are Ashkenazi. The real homeland for the Ashkenazi JEWs is near the Caspian and Black Seas, not Palestine. Their ancestors picked up the Ish religion many centuries ago due to widespread ignorance of people there in that era. After a few generations, they assumed that they were the descendants of the JEWs that lived in Palestine. Right. That's a mistransliteration. Okay, Zechariah 9 and 6, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Right? Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are the JEWs, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Wow. Lying bastards, eh?
What is it?
Against the Prime Minister of Israel. We are for Gaza.
You're for Gaza, the Gaza Strip?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We are against the state of Israel.
You said you're for Gaza?
Yes, we are against the state of Israel.
You're against the state of Israel?
Yes, we believe, the Jewish believers are against the state of Israel.
Are you for the real return of the real children of Israel?
We believe that all Israel needs to be returned to the Palestinians.
Do you know that the black man in America is Israel? That he's Jews? Do you know that?
Yes. Yes.
But it's time that we find out and accept it and receive it. And that's the only way that it can be received, is through the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the only thing that can draw the brothers and sisters into Torah. And again, the DNA, it's in your DNA. And if you just think about it and pray about it and say, Holy Spirit, is this really of you, or is this of some other thing that's not possible? And just let your heart be open and your mind be open and softened, and just pray and find out whether this is true or not.
So could you tell them who the true people of the Bible are?
The black people.
Say that again?
The black people. And when I first came in the Torah and there was nothing but black people, and I just got kind of upset finally after, and I says, how come it's just the black people? Where do I belong? And it takes time, and we call it, forgot the word completely, revelation. And it takes time to be able to accept this. Look at how long it took you to go through Christianity. And it takes time for the Holy Spirit to draw you into this and to give you the wisdom and knowledge that you are the true people of Israel. And I was duped. I always thought Jesus was white, and then I found out different. And again, just open up your heart and open up your mind and let the Holy Spirit really work with you.
Okay. With that, Quab, we over now. Shalom.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the Israelites of the Bible, according to the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And the simple fact of the matter is that my people have lied to you and the whole world about the Bible, and have sought to paint their images over your images, and to replace you in the Bible, which is your history, heritage, and culture. Now I want to go into Deuteronomy chapter 28 and read. This is Moses talking to the children of Israel after they've come out of Egypt bondage. This is Moses talking to the children of Israel. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Here he is talking to the Israelites. The second verse, he begins to go into the blessings that would be put on the Israelites if they would keep the commandments. That says that they'd be blessed in the city, blessed in the field, and basically blessed in everything that they would undertake to do. They would lend to other nations, but not borrow, things of that nature. But in verse 15 of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now I want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and read one of those curses that all Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, should immediately be able to identify with, proving that you are the Israelites of the Bible. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more. The it is referring to your homeland, Israel, Jerusalem. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. So wherever you got off of those ships, who you were sold to, those are your enemies, according to God. For bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you. That word buy means to redeem. And many have came and tried to redeem the Israelites. Marcus Garvey tried and failed. Malcolm X tried and failed. Martin Luther King Jr. tried and failed. Now, as far as it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. The word Egypt is a word that means bondage, house of bondage. It is a Greek word. The Bible explains and proves itself. And I'm going to go to Exodus to prove that Egypt, that y'all being brought back into Egypt again with ships, is not referring to you going back into the land of Egypt literally again, but is referring to you going into slavery again. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 21. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. What is another word for bondage? Slavery. So the reason that the Israelites went into slavery is because they chose not to keep the covenant that God made with them and them only. So I hope that you found this video edifying. I hope that it helps to wake the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who, according to the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, are the Israelites of the Bible.
So I wanted to make a video because a lot of people take me as, when I say I'm not a Christian or I'm not a religious person, they take me as unholy or just not believe in the word or whatever. But I believe everything that's in the Bible. And what a lot of people fail to realize is that what's being taught to you in the Bible is bits and pieces, and people don't actually go and read their Bible or get an understanding of their Bible. The Catholics took over, Rome took over Christianity and conformed it. So we have a conformed piece of the Bible, and every religion that comes to existence has to go through the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has made our Jesus white. The Catholic Church has whitened out the Bible and made it not important of who these Hebrew Israelites are. The Jews that are in Israel today are not the Hebrew Israelites. The Jews that are over there today are actually the ones that have funded slavery. They run our media. They run our Wall Street. They run everything. Music. They run music. They run all of it. Jewish name is on everything that controls our country. And people just, they don't look at what the prophecy has said. They don't look at what Revelation says. It says that the people in Israel will claim that they're Israelites, and they're not. Psalms 83 talks about the different nations that would cut off Israel as a nation. And we all have been brought up to think that the white race is superior because of that. We have been brought up to serve a white God, a white Jesus, and that's not the way that it is. When Jerusalem was overtaken by Assyria, the tribe of Judah went into hiding into Africa. There are tribes still in Africa now that believe and go by the Hebrew laws. And when Africa sold their people, that everyone has come to think that that's the way that it was. That is not what happened. Africa did not sell their people. They sold the people who were different than them. They sold the Hebrew Israelites that were hiding. The people that are here, the black people, the people of color that are here, that have been brought here from Africa, their ancestors brought here from Africa, are the Hebrew Israelites. They're even in the African dictionary. African and Negro are two different things, are two different classifications of people. The Africans were the tribe of Ham. Ham was not an Israelite. The people that were brought here was the true Hebrew Israelites. And this war, everything that's going on in the Middle East, it is all because they know, countries, other nations know that the people that are there are not the true Israelites. And when all of this comes together, all this war and all this things that's going to happen in Revelations, when all that comes together and the Hebrew Israelites return, the true Hebrew Israelites return to Israel, the world will be a better place. And if you sit here and you think that it doesn't matter, or you think that, okay, so what, he was black, so what, you are a part of the problem. You are a part of what they have done to these Hebrew Israelites, to God's chosen people. You are a part of that. They have deceived you, and you've let them deceive you. You've let them make you feel superior, and you're not. No, a lot of times we want to point fingers and say, well, we've done this, we've done that, they need to come up and they need to live better and do better, and it's their problem, this, that, and the other. But what have you done? What have you done to go in there and show these people and tell these people that they are somebody, that they are worth being somebody? All that anybody has ever done is beat these people down. And what have you done? Your ancestors were able to go get loans for a house, could move and have a home, and was given opportunities. So now you are living off of that opportunities that they had. Yeah, we may not all live perfect, rich. We probably all don't live a certain way, but I have a privilege. I have a privilege because I'm white. I have a privilege to go somewhere and not be looked at as a thug or looked at like I'm somebody that's gonna hurt somebody. Or when the 13th Amendment, when it was signed that it freed slaves, as soon as it was signed, it also said in there that slave would be abolished except for committing a crime. When slavery was abolished, what did white people do? They criminalized black people. They criminalized people of color. They lied and said that they were raped, or they lied and said that somebody stole this or stole that, did this or did that, and they put them in jail. And now they're criminalized. There's more people of color in jail now than they were slaves back in slavery. And it's ridiculous what has been done to these people, and everyone just wants to say, get over it, get over it. Well, why are we living a deceitful lie? Why are we not accepting the truth? Why are we not accepting that our God created us in his image? He created, and we came from the man of color. We did not come from a white man. We came from a man of color. Our ancestors was of a man of color. And something happened that caused us to not have melanin in our skin. And that is why God didn't hate Esau because he was white. He hated Esau because he knew what Esau would do. He knew what he would take his whiteness and use it for. And it was to be evil and deceitful and to change the way that people perceived the Hebrew Israelites. These Hebrew Israelites they're God's people, and nobody cares. All this war and stuff that's going on over there, we have what needs to be over there. We have the people here in Great Babylon, Bible time, Great Babylon, and all that our country is doing is hiding it. They're feeding them rap, talking about killing and drugs and whoring and all this stuff, and they know they're keeping them down. And I just want you to wake up. People of color need to wake up. You are the chosen people. You are the Hebrew Israelites, and you've got to come up out of Great Babylon. Come up out of her and humble yourself to him, to Yahshua, and become the nation that you are supposed to be. Because I believe it, and there's plenty of other people out there that believe it and will do everything that they can do to help make the prophecies come true.
They have black pride because they don't know. I don't know. It wasn't in the slave owner's interest to keep track of the cultural heritage of his property. So that cultural identity that shapes you, it does. Think about it. Think about how much of what you are as a person is linked to your heritage like that. Stripped away, gone, and it got replaced. It got replaced. You know, down here in the South, especially out in the country, you go into a black kitchen, somebody is going to know how to cook hog giles and chitlins. Pig's feet. Down here, that's seen as black cuisine. That didn't come from Africa. Not the way pasta or shepherd's pie came with us. That came from the plantations. That's what the slave owner threw away and let them eat. They endured that for so long, it became part of their culture. They endured it for so long, they got good at it. Found a way to make it flavorful. No, I can't understand what it's like to be black in the U.S. I can't understand what it's like to have my cultural identity stripped away and replaced with the knowledge that when my granddad was a kid, people didn't think he was human. Or that what is seen as my cuisine is because we got good at cooking trash. get over it, we're a long way away from that. We're a long way from getting over slavery. Yeah, the physical scars, they've healed. They have. The cultural ones are still there because it's gone. It was stripped away. Just vanished in the air. And I really want you to think about how much of who you are as a person comes from the old country. And then imagine what it would be like if you didn't have that. And if what it was replaced with wasn't love of the red, white, and blue. Because the red, white, and blue didn't love you. It wasn't that long ago, guys. There are people alive today that dealt with some pretty horrible stuff. And it's getting better. But it's not solved. That problem's ongoing, and it's going to stay ongoing for a while. You know, I've seen people say that they're not African American, that they're just American. I love it. Good for you. I cannot wait until the day comes when all of us just leave those national identities behind and we're just people. But that's a long way off. And until then, we're going to have to address our history. And while we may find it uncomfortable to address our history because we don't like it, we don't like the things that our people did, understand there's some people that don't know theirs. They don't have that source of pride to reach back to. I actually think that's why that Black Panther movie did so well. It's just like, you know, just like every European ethnicity has that origin myth, you know. It gave them that. So, it's just a thought. It's something to think about when you have convinced yourself as a white person that you truly understand what it's like. Take a step back. It goes a lot further than to have a talk with your kids about how to deal with cops. Your entire cultural identity was ripped away. Anyway, y'all have a nice night.